Hello and welcome to the brand new podcast Will Start Tomorrow. I'm Michael Knight and with me is my co-host Bradley Can.
Hello.
In short, we are a couple of men in their mid-30s who have essentially achieved nothing of note. Well, it's not entirely true, but years of procrastination.
Years. And just to interject there slightly, I'm technically going into my late 30s now because I'm 37 soon.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Actually, I suppose I'm getting there now. Right, so
So we've already started this podcast on lies.
yeah, well, it just means it's more pressing that we actually do something. So years of procrastination have led us to this point where we are starting this podcast, and already we have gotten infinitely further because we've pressed record.
Yes, that's true.
So,
How many times have we talked about starting something?
I know I've completely lost count, but I think there are a lot of people out there who could relate to our position where, we're almost dead now.
Yes.
And so we need to kind of do something, even just for fun, something to do on the weekend.
And it's a lot cheaper than cocaine.
That is true, actually. That's
Can you
very
make
true.
drugs references in podcasts?
I don't see why not.
Okay, cool.
It may limit our sponsors, but given that we haven't got anybody knocking our door down to give us sponsorship, I don't think that's a problem at this stage.
But I suppose cocaine sponsors would be they'd have deep pockets.
Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
they could sponsor us. They started off with cocaine, so I don't know how true that is. Who knows? I'll look that up. Right, so this podcast, what's it about, Bradley? I'll put that on you.
Well, Michael, it's about what you just described at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about life. I guess that's quite a general thing. But life as two mid to late 30-year-olds who have achieved nothing. So
Nothing of significant value.
nothing of significant value. I mean,
We've had lots of adventures along the way, though.
No, that's true. No,
And I guess if we'd achieved our dreams that we set ourselves in our 20s, then we wouldn't have had half the adventures that we've had.
no, that is true.
You wouldn't have had nearly broken ribs.
That's true, actually. Busted up hips, fag burns on my body. That's a bit dark, but we'll come to that.
Well, you should have done what I told you to, and you wouldn't have got them.
Right, so I guess, what do we want to talk about today? I mean, I guess a good place to start is just to get us off the board. Let's talk about some of the failed projects.
Yeah. We've got the obligatory introduction statements out the way. People
Yeah.
know us, they know who we are, they know our deepest, darkest secrets, or they're about to.
Yeah, so smash and like that subscribe button. I think that's what you're supposed to say at this stage.
This isn't YouTube, there's
Okay.
no subscribe. I think it's follow. You can
Okay.
follow us if they want,
Yeah, just find a like button and smash it.
or don't,
Or don't.
whatever, we don't care.
Smash that dislike button.
Yes, no, don't do that.
Right, what's your biggest failure? No, that's
Biggest failure.
your biggest failure being born.
That wouldn't be my biggest failure. That's probably my parents' biggest
No.
failure.
No, yeah, that's my biggest success, I suppose. I suppose the same for both of us. Let's start off. If you've had a project in the past that's failed, hasn't gone anywhere, what was the biggest one? Does that, whether you regret it or not?
I don't know really, because I've got failures in as such that I've got projects that I planned to do
Yeah,
and never started,
Yeah.
which is one type of failure.
yeah.
Then I've also got projects that I started, got about 3 months into and thought, this is a lot of work. I'm just going to stop this now. So I don't really know which is worse out of the two of those, whether, not starting something or starting something and then giving up because it's just too much hassle.
No, that's a good point. All right, tell us about one of your projects, one that you started, but then just why didn't you finish it?
Well, procrastination gets in the way a lot. That's a big hindrance.
Yeah.
But I guess one of my most recent attempts was my very short-lived YouTube gaming channel.
I think
where-
that's a failure everybody's got now.
Yeah, I tried to capitalize on the old Let's Play that was popular at the time. But I think the biggest reason I started that is because at the time I'd lost my job. So I was unemployed, and I thought rather than just sitting around the house all day doing nothing, why not sit around the house all day and do nothing but film it for YouTube?
And rake in those internet dollars.
Yeah, I think I made about 0.03 pence from revenue for my time there. But yeah, that's probably my biggest one to date. I started a YouTube gaming channel, and I probably pumped out about 20 videos in the space of about 2 weeks because
Yeah.
I thought, quantity over quality, and then just the sheer then having to keep it up as well for my 15 subscribers, and the pressure and the fame got to me. It got to me.
Wow.
And yeah,
You had subscribers.
yeah, I had about 15 subscribers.
Wow. Because when I tried it for, I think maybe I put out 2 videos of like really obscure games that nobody would have been searching for. I don't believe. No, actually, you might have subscribed.
I subscribed.
You
I
subscribed.
had one
Well, I
subscriber.
had one. I was off the mark. Yeah.
I think my biggest problem as well with doing that was I didn't have a like a structure or a plan in mind. So every video was completely different. So one day I might have done a let's play on a free to download game online,
Yeah.
and then the next day I was really badly editing stories using Grand Theft Auto 5. So there was no structure, so people would come on thinking, oh, I wonder what the next. Bear in mind, there's only 15 people subscribing, but they might think, oh, what's he putting out today? Is it another Let's Play? No, he's just created some scenes from Happy Wheels in Grand Theft Auto 5. And I think one of the videos was you and me playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and I was trying to gear up, ready. There was one of the big DLCs coming out, and I think the tagline of the video was gearing up for, to make some money for the new DLC. And it was literally about 25 minutes of us just dicking around in a helicopter. Not actually, I don't think I actually made any money.
No. I mean, I do vaguely remember doing that, and it was just I came online and you just thought, oh, I'm just recording this. I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after a couple of weeks, it progressed into a Minecraft tutorial channel where I just started. I built a portal gun from Rick and Morty, Portal Gun House, and Pickle Rick House. And again, there was no structure, no content. People would, if anybody did click on the channel, would go, "What the hell? This it's just the inside of my head." I just procrastinate and move from one thing to one thing to one thing.
Yeah.
And so it picked up no traction, I think, because of that.
Yeah, I think when I gave YouTube a go, it was pretty much, well, not exactly the same thing, but yeah, essentially I had no real plan. I just picked a couple of games and I thought I'll just give this a try, and then no real plan as to what goes next. I mean, choosing the games that I played, no real thought into that. I think it was just the ones that I could find for the cheapest on Steam, because I had a bit of credit or something like that. But I mean, if I'd made any more, I would have just failed at the point of, well, how do you put yourself out there?
Yeah, I think one of the things you touched on then as well, when you said about the cost, this is one of the things that I personally do, is I will try to look for a reason not to do something and then blame it on whatever it is.
So, yeah, absolutely.
So when you say cost, this is another one of the reasons I stopped doing the YouTube channel, is I thought, wow, my videos would look better if I had a better camera, but I can't afford a better camera. Or the audio would sound better if I had a better microphone, and I can't afford a better microphone. So, I might as well jack it in now. There's no point carrying this on.
Yeah.
I haven't got, the £2,000 camera and £1,000 microphone that all the big YouTubers have.
Oh, so, yeah. I can't afford the 15 grand Phantom camera to do my slow motion intro.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Yeah. But again, it's just when you're in that sort of situation and you're looking for a reason not to do something, the smallest thing that pops up is just, that's it, end down.
Absolutely right. Yeah. Like, I think that comes up a lot because, like, this is a bit of hard work. I'd rather just go and sit on the couch. So how do I go from doing this attempt to finding an excuse to be just sat on the couch? And yeah, I think investing a bit of money in something. I mean, that's how anything gets started, really. Can you imagine Apple if they was, we need to pay for some office space or something, but that's really pricey. So we'll just jack it in.
Other technology providers are available. We are not endorsed by Apple.
no. But we are open to endorsements and promotions.
Very much so.
Yeah, I guess that's something a lot of people have done. Try to, I mean, there's so many channels on YouTube which is just like one video. I guess it's not for everybody. Like some people will try and think, actually, that's not for me. But I think for us, it was probably just.
I don't think it was for me. I think
No,
I was personally just trying to capitalize on a trend.
Yeah.
Shall we say?
No, I think you're right. Because I mean, I like playing video games, but doing a let's play, I just like to enjoy my games on my own, to be honest with you. I don't play online games anymore. Apart from like, we occasionally play a co-op game or something like that, just to dick around, have a bit of fun. There's no way that I'm going to spend. I can't spend hours leveling up a character and earning the latest skin or what have you. So there's plenty of stuff I could have done on YouTube, but I didn't.
Do you ever find as well that any of the reason behind not putting yourself out there is because you fear rejection from the public? Do you ever think that? Do you ever think, oh, I'm not going to put these videos out, or I'm not going to do that because people probably think it's crap? And
absolutely. It's I think you've got to rip the plaster off at some stage and just go for it. But it's getting past that initial fear is quite scary. And I think in part you've got to find something that you're actually maybe more comfortable doing, like finding what suits you. Perhaps makes that easier. Doesn't make the fear go away, but
yeah, and I suppose that's also the key to sticking with something. We both generally wanted to start a podcast, so it's easier to stick to something. Whereas, as I mentioned before with the YouTube channel, I was just doing it to capitalize on a trend at the time. So there was no way you're going to stick with something if you're not doing it because it's something that you're going to enjoy doing every single day or every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Mind you, I mean, there've been plenty of things that I've really enjoyed doing, which I've ended up sort of jacking in. And again, that was because of I think in part because of fear, but also just pure laziness as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think fear is a big. I mean, obviously, it's a massive part of why people don't follow things through. But I guess that's one thing I'm trying to change.
Yeah.
Going slowly downwards towards my 40s. Doesn't life begin at when does life begin?
At conception, I would argue.
Oh shit, I'm way behind then.
Yeah, we got some catching up to do, I think.
Yeah. I'll tell you my biggest failure.
Please do.
Please. After school, I wanted to join the army.
I don't think I ever knew that about you.
No, I did. I went down to the careers office with my friend David. I was talking to the guy, and it sounded amazing. He sold it to me, all the bells and whistles. I could be an engineer in the army. I remember he said to me, so you could be fixing anything from a wristwatch to a tank. I mean, it's a bit of a vague job description, but I thought, I bought into that. And then I was going through all the application process and everything, and I just suddenly thought, actually, I don't want to join the army. Army's not for me.
No.
So my mum said, okay, well, if you're not going to do that, you can go to college. I thought, okay, I'll go to college. I'll study computers. I like computers. So
loves computers.
Loves computers.
Loves them.
So I thought, I know a fair bit about computers. So I will go and study computers. Went to the open day, and then I ended up signing up for the drama course.
It couldn't be further away from computers if you tried.
Army, computers, drama. And then I really fell into that. I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, I was an incredibly shy child, but I mean, that really helped get me out of that. And I studied drama at college for 3 years, and then got to the point where I was going to go on to do it. That was the first diploma and a national diploma that I did. And then I was going to go to drama school. So I got normal applications through UCAS, and I got a place at Dartington College of Arts, which has since closed down, probably because I didn't go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but then I think because I was young and I was a fearful young man, I decided to sort of put that on hold for a year. But then I didn't end up taking the place, and just didn't really go anywhere then. I mean, I could have sort of gone on to sort of having a career there.
It wasn't the end of it though. You've done a few bits.
Yeah. I mean, I even ended up going to uni later on to do drama, but I mean, I chose the wrong course at the wrong time for the wrong reasons because I think I was starting to panic at that time.
Timing is a big thing.
Oh,
as well.
absolutely, yeah, and wrong time, wrong reasons, and then, but yeah, I have done things here and there. I've done plays locally, both here in Plymouth and up in Exeter. Haven't had any time for it recently because of work. In part, I probably could make time for it, although it's a little bit tricky with the nature of my job. I probably could make time for it, but I mean, it's sort of starting to fizzle out. But I mean, I think that's probably my biggest failed, maybe not project, but
well, that's a goal in life, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's not just projects we're talking about, is it? It's goals and things that you maybe want to achieve in life.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But that's something you touched on then as well. Is another big thing that I personally have been guilty of, and that's saying that you don't have time to do something.
Yeah.
And I was watching recently a YouTube video, and I can't remember who it was. It might have been Arnold Schwarzenegger or somebody who was doing one of these motivational speeches about trying to blame that you've got no time. But when you actually sit down, like myself personally, I never think I've got enough time to do something.
Yeah.
But then when I sit down and I think, right, I get up at 6 o'clock and I don't start work till 8. So I've got 2 hours there. And when I get home about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I don't go to bed till 10, I've got a window of at least sort of 4.5, 5 hours there where I could do something. But because I've fallen into the routine of getting home from work, making dinner, sitting down on the sofa, pop a movie on, have a shower, oh, it's bedtime. In my head, I think I've got no time to do anything else.
Yeah.
I'm at work all day, and then I'm at home and I eat and I go to bed. And when, as a matter of fact, I've probably got about 3 hours a day that I could be doing something at least.
Yeah, absolutely right. Mind you, I mean, you do also need to take into account sort of. I need half an hour on the sofa twiddling my thumbs. I mean, there's no way out of that. It's you're absolutely right. It's I mean, because there's so many people out there who, like, you speak to them. I mean, actually, well, when you're at work and you ask, what do you do on the weekend? Most people say, oh, I just had a quiet one, didn't do very much. But there are people who say, right, so I climbed a mountain. I did. I just released a new single. Well, I don't know.
I renovated a house.
Renovated a house. Yeah. Read 3 books and
I built some decking.
Yeah. Cured the latest ailment.
Yeah. Latest fancy disease.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite a quiet one for me actually.
Oh, that's so annoying when you speak to somebody who's like achieved loads and they're like, "Oh, I'm really disappointed, you bastard." Yeah, I hate those people. I hate successful people. I hate people who've achieved.
I think replace hate with jealous of.
Little from column A, little from column B. Yeah, I'm incredibly jealous. I was speaking to somebody the other day at work. One of the customers was telling me about their son, who is 25, and he's now on 50 grand a year. So I hate that guy. But I think because he's actually, I think she was saying that he did an apprenticeship, followed it through.
In what, porn? What could you do? Do an apprenticeship in at 25, be earning 50k a year?
Well, I mean, he did the apprenticeship when he was like 18 or something like that, and I think it was with the local boat company, and yeah,
the local boat company,
who, you know, if you sponsor us, then we'll name you. And he's then just stayed with that for his life, and now he's on 50 grand a year, and he travels to different parts of the world because he's gone into after sales.
I hate him already.
Yeah, I know, right? Successful bastard. But, you know, money doesn't buy you happiness.
No. But I'd rather be crying on a luxury yacht than happy in the back of a Nissan Micra.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, in truth, money does buy you happiness.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, that's not to say that you can't buy things that make you unhappy, such as, I don't know, prostitute that wants to sell their story.
Oh,
Sorry, I've gone off on a bit of a tangent now.
yeah. Aren't you the one that's supposed to be keeping me in check?
I think
What did you call me last weekend? Loose cannon.
a loose cannon,
Loose cannon. Yes.
a freewheeling loose cannon.
Freewheeling loose cannon.
Yeah,
But then that also is one thing that I've always not regretted as such or been jealous of. It's the wrong terminology to use, but people who are younger who know what they want to do. So,
Yeah.
you know, at 18, 19, all I was interested in was going out, drinking, getting laid,
Yeah.
partying, and then thinking, I'll sort out my career in my 20s. And
yeah,
then you get into your 20s, and I'm still drinking, still partying,
yeah,
and thinking, it's all right, I'll figure out my career in my 30s.
yeah.
I'm in my 30s now, and I don't have a shitting idea of what I want to do. And one of these things that I've often been probably jealous about is people who, you know, they know at a young age what they want to do. So they want to be
Yeah.
a doctor, for example.
Yeah.
So they know they've got to go to school and college and med school and university, and they build up that track, don't they, that they follow
Yeah.
to get to their goal. And I think if you know what you want to do, it's quite easy to put yourself on that course. And I think this is one of the reasons I've got to the stage in my life now where I don't know what I'm doing or I don't know what I want to do, is because I don't know what I want to do, I have no way to put
Yeah.
myself on. It's like getting in a car. If you get in a car and you think, right, where am I going to go? And you haven't got a clue, you sit there for 10 minutes in the car thinking, right, well, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? I don't
Yeah.
know. I'll just go back in the house.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, if you know, I want to go to London, you get in your car, you drive to London, you figure out how to get there, fuel up your car, and you drive there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't want to go to fucking London, but
no. It
Oh,
was an
that-
example, Michael.
I know. I think the fear grows as well. Yeah, so I mean, there are people who've like got their plan from the beginning. I mean, I could never have been one of those people who had an absolute definite plan, but you know, if I put some more time in, I could at least got myself to the right track. But getting into your mid to late 30s, I think the fear that we were talking about, that starts to grow more and more the longer that you leave it.
Yeah.
It
There's different types of fear as well, aren't there? Because, I mean, myself, I'm a homeowner now.
yeah,
So I'd quite like to be able to just move abroad or go somewhere else in the country and do something. But I'm worried that if I sell my house, I'm
Yeah.
just going to burn through that money and then have nothing left, nothing to show for it afterwards.
exactly, yeah. So
And,
fear of failure.
And it's also another excuse. I can't do something because I can't leave the house. You know, when in actuality, I could sell the house, put the money into a separate account and you
Yeah.
know, buy a new house when the time comes. But it's just another crutch that you use to
Yeah.
not pursue things that you want to do.
Yeah, let's sell it right now. Let's
Yes.
go on the internet right now and sell
Who
your
wants
house.
to buy my house? Send any offers through to willstarttomorrow@gmail.com.
Nearest offer. Let's talk about one other thing. We talked about a couple of like things that we've not like followed through separately. We've had so many ideas together. Let's rattle some off.
Oh God, stand-up comedy. We were going to
Stand-up
be
comedy.
a stand-up comedy double act.
Yeah.
I think we met up in a bar in town, and we turned up with you know, we were professionals. We had notepads and a pen, and we had a little table outside with our drinks to sit down and discuss what we were going to do.
Yeah.
We got about 5 minutes into it, and
Yeah.
I think I got distracted by the barmaid.
Yeah. I got distracted by the seventh pint and the chasers, and we probably came away from it with memories of a really good evening, which have since passed.
Yes,
So
that I don't remember.
So
We had our bands.
we had a band. I mean, that was more of a pretend joke thing, but I know. I mean, it was we.
We
the
were
only-
endorsed by Jimi Hendrix and the Queen.
Yeah. Yeah. Our was it Styler Funk Plosion?
Style of Funkplosion.
Yeah. It was incredible. We did a photo shoot in which we took one photo.
We did.
We had our stylophone. We didn't actually learn to play any instruments.
We recorded about 3 or 4 demos.
Yeah, Soggy Ender.
Multi-Gym Wars.
Multi-Gym Wars. Do you remember when we, Brad and I have worked together in a number of times. We've quite often been in the same job, either joining together or Brad's got me in there later on.
And that's how we met.
Yeah,
originally at a mobile phone provider customer service call centre.
Exactly. I was met across the room, across the heads of all the short people. I think during that time there, at that first job that we were in together, we had so many things like, do you remember the Scott Angel comic?
Oh, yes. Ace, the private eye detective.
Yeah,
Detective Scott Angel.
Yeah, so he was sort of...
he was our team manager.
Yeah, I mean, in name.
In name, yes. Yeah.
But it was like a noir sort of detective comic.
Because I think we thought he had a really good detective name, didn't we? Scott Angel.
Scott Angel, yeah. That never went anywhere. But then we did have a comic strip published a couple of times, which ended because of... Well, essentially, you weren't getting paid for the work that you were doing.
Yeah.
You started working for this magazine doing some graphics work.
Yes, yeah. And it's the age-old problem that a lot of freelance people get is, you'll do it for exposure, won't you? And there's only so much exposure I can eat in the evening to sustain myself. And after a while, I think it's not necessarily that they took advantage, but they wanted me to do illustration work for some of their articles, and then you and I were doing the comic strips, so you were predominantly writing them and I was illustrating them, and then eventually got to the stage where, why are we doing this? I think it came to a head where I was applying for a design job and they wanted references, so I emailed the owner of the magazine and I asked for a reference for my design work, and she said, yeah, I'll email something over to you, and nothing ever came through. So I thought, fuck you. I'm going to take my wasted talent somewhere else and do nothing with it. But at least I'm not going to do it for you.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, the comic strip that came out of doing that, we could have carried that on after
ourselves,
splitting from then, but we didn't. It was just like, oh, okay, so that door's closed, so we'll just not do anything. But yeah, there have been so many little projects like that. So some of them coming from a 5-minute conversation, some of them coming from multiple 5-minute conversations over. Yeah, we should definitely start that next week.
Every weekend meeting.
Every weekend.
Every Saturday morning.
Yeah. Sometimes waking up in the middle of the night. We should start this in 5 minutes. No. Or
stop phoning me, Michael.
Week. Yeah. I've got thumb twiddling to do. Not enough time. Not enough time in the day. But yeah, well, hopefully this is something that we actually follow through. I mean, we followed through the entire recording.
Yes.
So I'm
surprised.
That is something. I mean, I assume it's been recording.
Yeah, I haven't checked. It'd be funny if it wasn't. But I mean, if any of you 3 people that are listening have had any sort of similar experiences, if anybody wants to drop anything into us to talk about on future podcasts as well,
where can they get us?
We have got an email address set up now. It says we'll start tomorrow, but that's just WELL because it wouldn't let us add any of the lovely bits of grammar that we would like to have added. So it's we'll start tomorrow at gmail.com.
And where can they get us on Twitter?
And at Twitter, we are at WSTUK Podcast.
Because it's the shortest one that we could get.
The shortest, unique one without coming across as we'll start Tom 0778. And also on Facebook. That's just at we'll start tomorrow.
I'm surprised we didn't give up at the point where we couldn't get the Twitter handle that we wanted.
I'm persistent when it comes to some things in life.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, but thank you very much for listening. We do hope that this is going to be an ongoing show.
Yes.
And
I think the plan is to sort of record and to meet up at the weekends and release hopefully on a Monday morning, ready for your inevitable commutes.
Yeah. Insert catchphrase here. We'll work on that.
Yeah. Insert outro music. Royalty free, of course.
Yeah, we're not made of money.
But yes, seconding that. Thank you very much to everybody for listening.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.